Today on the RepubliKen Talk Show, Cartoon Network is dead, according to a Twitter hashtag. We're going to be breaking down Kamala Harris's Daily Wire episode. There's a documentary on Daily Wire right now that breaks down Kamala Harris's career and the corruption and many other things that went behind her career. And we're going to be talking about Aubrey Wyatt. There's a controversy between parents of a victim of suicide, and we're going to talk about that and spread awareness to that. More about that in this episode. Welcome to the Talk Show, everybody. I'm your host, Kenneth Glenn, and today we're just going to get into the news. So, Cartoon Network is dead, according to Twitter. So, on Twitter last night, I don't know who was paying attention, but last night around, 1 o'clock in the morning, on Twitter, it blew up. A bunch of people were sad about Cartoon Network dying. Cartoon Network's now over. They're no longer making cartoons. And, it's a super sad thing because it's super nostalgic until you remember that Cartoon Network has been spreading woke garbage propaganda for the last, 6 years. So I didn't even care. I'm like, but they kind of deserved it. You really, they kind of had it coming. But then you look into it and you realize how stupid the internet is. Because it's not even true. Cartoon Network isn't even shutting down. So, the hashtag, RIP Cartoon Network, makes you think that Cartoon Network's actually, done and over. The beloved, the kids' cartoon channel on TV is now gone. There's no more episodes of new shows or anything like that. But it's just not the truth at all. People on Twitter saying, Cartoon Network is dead? Exclamation mark. Spread the word about what's at stake for animation, and post about your favorite Cartoon Network shows using hashtag RIP Cartoon Network. There's another one, RIP Cartoon Network. This era was generational, and it goes through different cartoons like Ben 10, Johnny Bravo, Adventure Time, regular show, things like that. But it's just all over. People were posting about their favorite cartoons. And people legitimately thought that Cartoon Network was dead. It's really the end of an era. The iconic childhood memories in Cartoon Network. R.I.P. Cartoon Network, another person posts. And it's a big collage of Cartoon Network characters. And, this is just all a rumor. This is just, and it's kind of crazy because this just proves that a lot of people on the internet are stupid. A lot of people are stupid on the internet because they're spreading this crap without even double checking what's going on. All these people are like, oh, Cartoon Network is dying, Cartoon Network's over, blah, 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 whatever. As if we should even be sad about it to begin with. Okay, Cartoon Network has sucked, since 2016 or something like that. Cartoon Network hasn't been good in a long time, so I don't even know why we're sad about this. If it were even true. It's not like they're making good shows anymore. The shows on Cartoon Network suck. But anyway, so the article continues. It says, all right, what is actually going on here? First and foremost, the answer to the main question, no, neither Cartoon Network or the channel nor Cartoon Network Studios is shutting down, despite facing some challenges in the post-pandemic era, or, they started teaching woke propaganda on their channel era, is the better way to say it. Having to cancel a few shows, they're still alive and kicking. There is no evidence whatsoever to suggest otherwise. 80 Level has reached out to the Cartoon Network team for clarification So this is the 80 level is the person who wrote is the people who wrote the article here. And we will provide an update once we receive the response. So they've reached out for clarification regarding the Burbank photo. It is actually taken in 2023. This is how dumb people are. This is how dumb people are on the internet. So these people are like, oh, R.I.P., I'm so sad. They're sad about nothing. Which just shows not only how easy it is to trick people, but just how foolish people are. Because this stuff isn't even true. They just saw it on the internet. They're like, oh yeah, shoot, it's true. Look, oh, sad, Cartoon Network's over. It's just ridiculous. When Cartoon Network's long-term lease for the building from Hollywood Production Center ended, the team relocated its operation to the Warner Bros. Buildings. So Cartoon Network is not shutting down, and the RIP Cartoon Network hashtag is only there to put some spotlight on the animation industry's current day issues. Current day issues being they spread garbage woke propaganda. Let's be real. Disney and Cartoon Network and was Nickelodeon, if they weren't spreading garbage woke propaganda, they'd be doing perfectly fine. Okay? Because they were doing perfectly fine. Let's be real. Okay? Like, when Cartoon Network had, like, a regular show on there and, like, good, decent TV shows, they were doing perfectly fine. But now they're spreading garbage woke propaganda, like how Thomas Edison didn't make the light bulb or whatever. It's stupid. That's why they're dying. They're not dying out of some lack of animators and the pandemic or whatever. They're not. Okay? Actually, if anything, the pandemic actually helped animators. Did you realize that the only shows being released during the pandemic were like animation shows? Animated shows kept going on perfectly fine during the pandemic. The only shows that were actually affected were the non-animated shows. Shows like Cobra Kai, for example, shut down. I believe even the show Reacher was affected by this. Movies were affected by this. Spider-Man No Way Home was supposed to come out even earlier, and they're supposed to have like even more added to the movie, and all of that got affected by COVID. I don't even really call it COVID. I think it's just laziness when it comes to Spider-Man No Way Home, but whatever. But yeah, Cartoon Network's not shutting down. This is all lies, all garbage. People just don't know how to check information. They see things on the internet and they go, it must be true. Because people are dumb and they don't know how to check things. And that's why we have the society that we have. Because people just don't know what to do. People don't know how to check for information. Because people are dumb. Alright, moving on. So, Aubrey Wyatt. She's, her mom's been posting stuff about her on her TikTok, Instagram, stuff like that. So, Aubrey, sadly, is a victim of suicide. She was bullied, and all that bullying led her to take her own life. And it's deeply saddening, because this is just not only because schools don't do anything about bullying, because let's be real, they don't. Schools have a zero tolerance policy for violence, which is another pathetic garbage policy that they have. Stuff like that. And it's like, so you basically give these kids zero choices. They have no choice. They basically have to take bullying on the chin, because schools won't do anything about bullying, and you can't physically do anything about bullying. So you're left with just kids being bullied viciously, and it can't be avoided. And they're basically an outcast to society. They're outcast to the school. And then they're led with no other choice because they're literally an outcast. When you're an enemy of the wrong class, the wrong people in a school, that will negatively affect you. When you become a social outcast, that stuff's going to negatively affect you. And it's sad. And schools are not helping, by the way. We had a similar issue not too long ago. Another student, another kid, he was like, how old was he, like 10 years old, also killed himself because he was dealing with bullying issues. He was getting assaulted on a school bus, and the teachers didn't do anything about it. It's because our school systems are pathetic. They're ran by wimpy gay guys. I've said this in the last video, I'm going to say it again. Schools are ran by dorks, wimps, basically people who shouldn't be around your kids. Okay? School system's been dumbed down, feminized, stuff like that. And instead of having a school system that raises functioning adults, we have a school system that just produces garbage. So, that leads us to today. So, Aubrey Wyatt's mother. I don't know her name. I should have probably looked that up before I made the episode. Heather Wyatt. So, Heather Wyatt has been posting videos on TikTok, basically spreading awareness to her situation, what her daughter went through, and things like that. And out of all the videos that she posted and things like that, she never talked about the kids, the bullies, anything like that. She never had anything harsh to say about them, never said anything negative about them. She was just spreading awareness about her daughter. Now, as you could imagine, since these bullies made it, or like basically pushed and bullied this girl to suicide, that's going to lose you a lot of respect. And basically, the bullies have now become social outcasts in the school, as you could imagine. And because of this, the mother of the bullies, I'm not sure if it's one mother or multiple mothers, I'm not exactly sure, but basically one of the bullies' mothers, or multiple of them, sued Heather for making the TikTok videos and basically told her that she needs to stop because it's causing her precious little daughters, her precious little angels, to be harassed at school. No, let me tell you something. When you cause somebody to commit suicide because you're viciously bullying them relentlessly, not only do you deserve to be harassed and talked bad about at school and deserve to be a social outcast, but that's just what's going to happen. Regardless if Heather posted videos about her daughter, it was going to happen. Hey, wait, you were the kids that relentlessly bullied this kid to death. Yeah, we don't like you guys. That's how that works. It's funny because the mother seemed to not care when the student was still alive. But now it's a big deal, all of a sudden. Now that her precious little angels are now social outcasts. The same way they made Aubrey Wyatt a social outcast in the school system. So basically, they had a big, giant lawsuit, and since we have a court system also ran by wimpy gay guys, we have a court system ran by wimpy gay guys. So you know what they did? They made it so Heather Wyatt wasn't allowed to post about her daughter anymore. On any platform. Isn't this court system great? We're literally censoring people. We are literally taking away people's freedom of speech. You're not allowed to talk about this anymore. Now, I could perfectly understand if this was a defamation suit where she's like telling lies about the daughters, but she hasn't even mentioned the daughters one time in any of her videos. But she's being sued and being told that she can't make videos about her own freaking daughter, for crying out loud, who committed suicide due to bullying. Which is a whole another jar of worms that is super questionable. Why are we censoring parents who want to spread awareness about bullying and suicidal issues? That's a little ridiculous. But as we all know, we have a garbage court system that doesn't actually care about committing crimes, about convicting people of crimes. They don't actually care about crimes at all. They want whatever fits the narrative. They don't want what's actually good. They want garbage. They want things that are bad to be promoted, basically. Or that's at least what they're telling us. Because a person's mother, a mother of a kid who literally ended her own life due to bullying, and she's spreading awareness about bullying and suicidal issues, and she's the one being sued, and you're like, yeah, she needs to be sued, she needs to take her videos down, is ridiculous. And I want to spread awareness to this because it's annoying. Not only should school systems step up and actually start punishing kids, and the state needs to stop walking in going, hey, you can't suspend this many kids, or you need to stop doing this, or you need to stop doing that. Okay? Kids need to be punished when they do stuff that's wrong. Kids need to have structure. I'll tell you something right now. As a guy who worked in a school, schools don't have that. Schools don't have structure. At least not to the lengths that they used to have structure. Schools don't have structure. Kids can pretty much do whatever they want. Students at school can pretty much get away with whatever they want and say whatever they want and do whatever they want because that's just how it is. I'm going to read you an article about this. Let's see here. Yep, this is the one. It says TikTok social explodes after judge shuts down account of Aubrey Wyatt's grieving mother. So Heather Wyatt regularly posts about her daughter, Aubrey, who took her own life in 2023 due to alleged bullying. The families of the alleged bullies filed for the court order. The death by suicide, 13-year-old Aubrey Wyatt, was focused national attention, or has focused national attention, on South Mississippi, with widespread calls for justice and anti-bullying enforcement. But you already know schools are not going to do that because, wimpy gay guys, like I said. A judge silenced the grieving mother of Aubrey Wyatt on social media, but in doing so unleashed an army of TikTok creators and Facebook commenters demanding justice and saying that they're going to speak up on the family's behalf. And that is what I'm here to do today. I'm also going to speak up because this is super wrong. Okay, in a court system that currently doesn't even charge criminals with crimes, it's kind of ridiculous that a mother who's posting about her own freaking daughter can't post about her own freaking daughter and spread suicide awareness things and a good positive message. She can't spread a positive good message because some people have their feelings hurt. People, by the way, who frankly should have their feelings hurt. Who should feel bad for what they did. Who should be social outcasts because of what they did. You might be wondering, you might be asking, like, well, but they're just kids, whatever. I don't care if they're just kids. Because those just kids cause somebody to die. So I quite honestly don't care. We gotta stop like being lenient on kids because they're just kids. Okay? Because I want to tell you right now, kids are pretty mean. Kids are very brutal and vicious. They will say anything and do anything for just to be popular. They'll say whatever, do whatever, lie, whatever. Okay? They'll do that just to stay relevant and popular. So I quite honestly don't care. Maybe be kind to people. It's not that hard. Social media users also have shared a link to the GoFundMe account, which, by the way, I'm also going to link in the description down below. You can give money to the GoFundMe account. Aubrey Wyatt, mother, former Ocean Springs elementary school teacher, Heather Wyatt. By Monday morning, the account had raised more than $76,000 for Heather Wyatt's legal expenses. Those expenses are amounting as the parents of the 4 girls accused of bullying Aubrey to her grave filed 2 separate lawsuits against her, or against Wyatt, further enraging social media throng bent on justice for Aubrey. As one popular hashtag reads, a number, or that's what one of the popular hashtags are, is justice for Aubrey. A number of high-profile creators on TikTok shared Wyatt's story after Jackson County Court Judge Mark Maples issued an emergency injunction after hours on July 1st. Maples ordered that Wyatt to temporarily shut down her social media accounts. The order issued in secret but leaked on social media. I wonder why the order was issued secretly. Maybe it's because it's a bad decision. Just maybe. Maybe it was privately and secretly issued because it's a bad decision. See, here's my problem with the justice system. We no longer just convict crimes. We have now gotten to the point where if someone's feelings get hurt and no crimes are committed and whatever, and the jury thinks that you could have done something better or whatever, that's what our justice system's become now. It's not even become about convicting crimes and stuff like that. There's no crime here. There's nothing here. There's no crime. And the TikTok videos haven't even brought up the bullies at all. But we're supposed to sit here and act like this is some big deal and she needs to shut down her TikTok. It's so stupid. The parents are stupid for doing this. Well, they're not stupid. They're just evil. I'm going to sue you. How dare you spread... Her daughter's dead. Because... allegedly, because of your daughters. Okay, I guarantee you, if this was the other way around, you would be doing the same thing. The mother of the bullies, alleged bullies, would be doing the same thing if her daughter bullied them and caused them to commit suicide. That she'd be doing the same thing. But for some reason, it's some big deal, and you need to sue her, and you need to judge. If there's no crime being committed, why is there anything even here? Like, there's no crime being committed. It's just kind of sad that we live in a country where, no crimes are being committed right now, yet this is a court case, and you're going to tell her that she needs to shut down her social media? Come on. Said he was trying to protect the minors accused of bullying Aubrey. Oh, protect the minors, huh? I see. Good luck with that, buddy, because if you want to actually protect the minors, you want to know what you do? You probably take them out of the school. Because I'm telling you right now, the people at the school are going to be way worse to her than the social media is. And it's kind of weird that you're like, oh, I'm gonna protect the minors, when the minors weren't even being attacked on social media. Sorry, they just weren't. It's just stupid. Anyway, I just wanted to spread the word. I wanted to expose this. I thought this was deeply evil. I thought it was super messed up that a judge would even do this. It's a violation of free speech, too. It's a complete violation of free speech. The judge should not be allowed to do this. And the link to the GoFundMe is in the description below. So if you want to donate to that, you can do that in the description below. All right, last thing of the day. So Kamala Harris is not a great politician, as we all know. Okay, she's been awful. She hasn't really done much. She's not super smart. She lies all the time. And last night premiered Daily Wire's new show, Scamala. It's a story about Kamala Harris's career and what she's done and how she's gotten to the point she's gotten to. And here are some things that we learned during the show. This is what we learned from Ben Shapiro on the episode. By the way, the first episode is free on YouTube. You can watch it. It's like 30 minutes long. It wouldn't take too long for you to watch it. Super nice, super neat. So, without further ado, let's get into it. So, first thing we learned from the lies, or from this Scamala documentary, is that Kamala Harris's freedom story was stolen from Martin Luther King Jr., not Jr., Martin Luther King Jr. So, you know that story that Kamala Harris has talked about multiple times? She even said it to Jimmy Fallon on his show. She talked about how she was at some like rally and someone asked, "What do you want?" And she's like, "I want freedom." Well, that story was actually stolen, word for word, from Martin Luther King Jr. So now, not only do we have the president who plagiarized speeches back in the day, and that's the reason why he lost the 1988 election, but now we have the vice president literally stealing stories from one of the most influential black voices in American history, Martin Luther King Jr. Martin Luther King Jr. basically said the same story. It was a woman, a mother, and a daughter at a protest. A police officer walked up to her, said, "Hey, what do you want?" And she said, "I want freedom." So that's the Martin Luther King. I don't know if it's a story or whatever, but basically when Kamala Harris said that, it was a complete lie. She never said that, never happened. So that was kind of neat to hear about that. I didn't even know about that. Secondly, you know Kamala Harris on the debate stage back in 2020 during the Democratic primaries, she accused Joe Biden of screwing her over, how he passed policies like busing. Well, if you look back into her history, she was not a victim of busing. She was actually part of a pretty rich family. She's not even from America, by the way. She's not even from America, which is another thing we learned. But she wasn't even a victim of busing. The time frame that she's talking about when she says that she's a victim of busing, she wasn't even in the United States for. So it's another example of when politicians use garbage fake stories about their own lives to push political agendas. And it makes it even worse because she literally lied about Joe Biden and made a made-up story to make him look bad. Speaking of Canada, while she was in college, she dated a man by the name of Willie Brown. You probably know about him. By the way, he was twice her age, which is kind of weird. And it's funny because she completely skips over this in her biography. She completely skips over this whole part of her life when she dated a literal 60-year-old and basically slept her way into government positions. Willie Brown appointed her to a bunch of tax-funded positions, even though she had no experience in those fields. She had no experience, and realistically, she would not have been able to get those positions, but since she was Willie Brown's lover, side chick, he was able to appoint her, because that's how politics works in America. We don't actually have a democracy. Hate to tell you that, but it's the truth. We really don't have a democracy. So, another thing, she became a prosecutor in California, and she refused to give death penalty to people, especially murderers. She refused to give the death penalty to murderers. After she was criticizing her whole election cycle, she was criticizing the guy for also not giving the death penalty to murderers. She's like, you're not a good prosecutor because you're not giving death penalty to murderers. But then when she stepped in, she didn't do it either. So that's another thing we learned from this episode, which it's really cool. We're learning so much about her in this little mini-series. Like I said, I suggest you watch the whole thing because it's super cool. It's on YouTube. Just look up Scamala. You'll see it. It's on there. But yeah, she was basically one of the worst attorney generals. Or prosecutor. She was one of the worst prosecutors. And the whole time she criticized him, the other guy, for being a bad prosecutor. And she was arguably worse. She also claimed that she didn't arrest parents, which this is super interesting. She was I can't remember the details on it, but she was pushing to arrest parents for some crime. And then, the next year or whatever, it ended up biting her in the butt. And they're like, hey, you arrested parents for this. And she's like, oh, no, wait a minute, no. I didn't do that. And it was just it's kind of cringe, really. I just thought that was kind of funny to see that on there. But yeah, that's some of the stuff we learned. I don't want to talk about it too much because, like I said, I want you guys to watch it yourself, and I don't want to take credit for what he made. I just thought it'd be kind of cool to promote it, and you guys can even check it out yourselves. But yeah, those are some of the things that we learned in the first episode of the Scamala documentary that you can watch on Daily Wire Plus, or you can watch it on YouTube. The first episode's free on YouTube. But anyways, that's going to be the end of my show. I hope you liked it. If you guys like this video, you want to see more like it, I make shows like this every single day. So if you liked it, give it a like, comment, give me your thoughts down below, and I will see you guys later. Peace.